think it's about time that we do another check-in on what will soon be Milwaukee's newest brewery. And look at that. We even got signage up.
Once I should know more by the end of this week, a little better timeline on that panel. So,
And I did manage to get inside the doors here at Treeline, and I'm here with Nick. And last time we were standing here, it was pretty bare.
yeah.
So first, can you just remind people, introduce yourself, and then kind of start giving an introduction about where we are currently standing?
Yeah. So my name's Nick Guthrie. I'm the owner and brewer of Treeline Brewing here in Milwaukee, 7100 West Center Street, 71st and Center, to make it easy for people. And yeah, like we said, this was pretty bare. I mean, what were you here 2 months ago?
Yeah.
A lot of work got done. We're currently staring at a bunch of stainless steel tanks behind us that you guys can't see quite yet. But yeah, so bar's all in. It's a 15-person seated bar with some various tables that'll be throughout the brewery is here as well. And yeah, I mean, it's crazy to see the transformation from nothing, from an office
It
building.
really is.
It was really an office building with a bunch of purple carpet tile to now a brewery.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy here. Walking in here, as you'll see here, it really does open up as you come in through the door. We'll be standing over in the brewing equipment here pretty darn soon. The stage over here, it really is cool to have been here, hear you kind of talk about it all, see like what your vision was, and now the puzzle pieces are starting to all line up.
Right.
And I don't know if you can see it. I'll put it in here, a shot of this. Your wife has been working on some painting here.
Yep.
That looks absolutely beautiful. The ceiling is getting all finished off. It really is just really starting to come together as this really authentic, kind of woodsy, outdoorsy, natural type of tap room. And we were talking before that I feel like in the city, almost is going to be like kind of like a refuge in some ways.
Right. That was kind of the hope too. And you'll see a lot of different like national parks artwork on the walls, and kind of the inspiration of that is obviously I love national parks.
Yep. Hence the tree. Yep.
Me and my wife have been to many, but also hopefully spark some inspiration for people in the future if they want to go to a national park. Like, wow, that looks like a really cool place, Rocky Mountain National Park or Zion National Park, stuff like that. So trying to get people outdoors and do some fun stuff. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, let's go pop over to the brewing equipment. All right, Nick. So we are standing here in your new brew house.
Yeah.
And you can see people coming down, whether they're walking or driving down the road here on Center Street, are going to be able to see right in here and see all this beautiful, shiny equipment. Can you give the folks kind of a little background here on the equipment, what size system you're brewing, and kind of what they may be able to expect when it comes to beer here at Treeline?
Right. So as you can see, we have a total of 6 different tanks right now. 5 of them are fermentation vessels, and 1 is a bright tank, is what we package out of. So we're a 5-barrel system, so a little tiny system, pretty manual operated. But the hope with it is the 2 alongside this wall here in the back there, those are going to be our lagering tanks for primarily lagers, and then along this wall will be all IPAs. A lager will probably float in there, and vice versa to the other one, but that's the hope of that. And like Joel said, obviously there's that huge window there. I can tell you a lot of people have slowed down and stopped and popped their head in while they're walking.
And it's not even open right now.
Right. There's a lot of excited neighbors that are in this neighborhood, so which is really cool to see. And
I mean, if I lived here, I walk my dog all the time. I'd be coming by here all the time to check it out. So I'm sure that it's very exciting. And as you said, whether you're a loggerhead like me or you're into the IPAs, kind of no matter whatever style you're into, I feel like there's going to be something here at Treeline for you to come and check out.
Right. And that's the hope, whether it's going to be a sour beer, a seltzer, a gluten-free seltzer for those folks out there, IPAs, lagers, stuff like that. And then also I think you can see it on the camera, but to my left here, this is our bottling machine. So it's a 3-head bottler.
Okay.
And kind of like we talked about before, we're going to do 12-ounce stubby bottle. So what Coors Light is in, or
Coors
Banquet.
I love that in terms of like just being able to post that on Instagram.
Right.
That's going to absolutely hit for marketing.
So it'll be 6 packs to go. And then we'll do a bottle buyback program where you bring your 6 empty bottles back in. We'll wash them, sanitize them, and reuse them versus just throwing them away.
I love that.
And then there'll be an incentive too. When you bring those 6 in, you can, whatever it may be, you get something off your next 6-pack or a free beer or something like that. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, and obviously the beer is the most important part of this, but we should probably actually also talk a little bit more about the tap room itself. All right. And as I said, you could already see behind us, this is that painting that I was talking about your wife doing. Mm-hmm. And currently where the camera is positioned is literally where the front door is when you are walking in here. The brewing equipment is right here to our left. And it really just opens up here. You've already got a bench here for some tables. But what is this layout going to kind of look like for people?
Yeah, so obviously you guys are at the front door. We have a side entrance to our parking lot and the patio area right over here. But then primarily what everybody cares about is where's the beer going to be.
Yeah, exactly.
So we'll have an 8-tap system that's behind the bar. And then we'll have obviously those 15 spots at the bar for seating, 2 bar top tabletops, a little to-go cooler along the back wall there. And then towards the stage in this back area behind the brewery will be an additional 3 tables for people to sit. So
wait a minute, a stage? Yes, a stage. So, and you can also, if I don't know if I'm blocking or not, get a little peekaboo in here, but can you kind of talk about this area? Because this is kind of like obviously very typical tap room-esque here in the front. And then as you kind of come into the back, it kind of leads into a new, different type of area.
Right. So like I said before, we'll have 3 tables in the front here, 3 4-person seated tables. And then obviously this raised stage. So part of, Treeline 2 was being really like community oriented, neighborhood oriented. And part of that is Milwaukee has a lot of great live music.
Yep.
We decided, why don't we add a little stage and showcase some of the people who are just hitting the scene or are still small enough that maybe 1 or 2 people know their names, but not a ton, and they can come in here and play.
And draw in those 1 or 2 people.
Correct.
To your brewery.
Exactly. And, like I said, we were neighborhood oriented too. So part of that was there's a gentleman who lives in the neighborhood about a block away. He's going to be taking care of all the musician setups and stuff, which is real great. He's an awesome guy. He comes out with his dog, which is really cool. He has like a little, I think it's like a coonhound dog. But yeah, so he's taking care of all the live music, which is awesome. And then that back little area, we call it like the cozy, comfy area. So we have a couch in there, 2 chairs right now. We'll be adding a
very retro kind of like old school, like 80s kind of vibe back there with the furniture. I personally, I love it.
There were some good finds on Facebook Marketplace, and everything's super comfy and in great shape, which is awesome. But then focus for that is, if you need a space to kind of chill out and not be in the, I want to say loud brewery environment, even though we're a smaller brewery, but it could get a little rowdy at times and loud while people are talking. You can kind of retreat yourself back there. We'll have board games. We'll have some educational books on outdoors, national parks. We'll have stuff for kids to do too, which is a big thing. I have a kid, a toddler right now. So, I want to go out and have a beer, but I also need my toddler to be entertained too. So there'll be board games.
They do like to be entertained.
So yeah, just kind of really leaning into everything to get everybody in the community into this space and make them feel as comfortable as possible.
Well, and I think the last thing to touch on a little bit is we've mentioned it already. We have the double doors over here that lead out to your patio. Can you talk a little bit more about that? Because obviously that's been a part of. I've seen all the beautiful landscaping that you've had done and everything. That's been also part of this whole kind of build out essentially.
Right. So obviously, Treeline Brewing, outdoor friendly. So that was, one of the first things that I thought of was obviously I want to make a brewery and make a really cool tap room, but I want to have a really good outdoor space too. Because Wisconsin has really good summers and falls. Springs and winters, obviously a little iffy here and there, but you may get a winter day that's like 70 degrees.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you just got to come in. Yeah, you just got to kind of play it by ear. The Google Weather app is on your phone. You can check it out.
But we really took inspiration from diverting water from the storm drains. So we put in a just over 500 square foot permeable patio. So instead of all that rainwater going to the storm drains, it's being seeped back into the ground itself. And then obviously the trees and plantings. So with everything, we're diverting about 2,500 gallons of water a year, which is huge.
Yeah. You put that on the website. You know, right. you need to have one of those lists of all the different things that you're doing, like in terms of like conservation and everything. There's some breweries that do that, but if you don't already, you need to make sure that you got that.
Yeah, that was my wife's idea. So we're gonna have a wall of kind of things of
even
conservation
better.
And everything that, you know, the stuffs we're doing, and then what future outlook looks like for us too. But yeah, so that patio is gorgeous. You have to see it for yourself.
Yeah,
you'll see pictures of it, but once you're standing on it and drinking a beer, I feel like
it's gonna be way different.
Yeah. So
well, and speaking of future outlook, you know, we're obviously looking here. Maybe a couple more months is kind of our hope here.
Yep.
Before the end of 2026 is for certain, but we're hoping here in the fall time, kind of mid-ish fall.
Yep.
Obviously, once we have nailed down dates, Badger Beer Report, we will be sharing all of that. We will be sharing it multiple times. So be sure to follow, like, subscribe, all of it, so that way you can be the first to know. Also, make sure that you are following Treeline Brewing on Facebook, Instagram.
Just Facebook and Instagram.
Just right Facebook now. And Instagram right now. But I'm sure if there's anything else you end up adding, you will let people know there. Right. But yeah, soon to be Milwaukee's newest brewery. I'm very excited for you, Nick. I cannot wait to see. You said the furniture's coming in next week.
Yep.
Things are starting to get real. So yeah, until then, whether it's where you are living or where you are visiting, be sure to drink local everywhere. Cheers, everybody.